invited one of the leading manufacturers of these engine brackets to be with us today. Her name is Janie Valerie. She's the owner of Armstrong Nautical Products. Let's go have a look. Hi, Janie.
Hi, John. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for coming out.
Well, thanks for inviting us.
You know, the problem that I'm having with my Seabird, the old sea drive that was on it, really made the boat stern heavy. And when it was sitting at the dock at rest, it was kind of sitting at an angle like this in the water. Talk to me how an engine bracket might be able to change that a little bit.
Well, engine brackets come, first of all, in a variety of sizes, and each one does something a little bit different. This is a single. It can handle any 4, 6, or 8-cylinder engine, and it does basically what the sea drive does in terms of putting the outboard back here away from the transom. And when you do that, your prop gets the opportunity to run at a better angle of attack in cleaner, less turbulent water. However, all of the brackets are different from the sea drive in that they have this compartment that's a part of them. And when you take this bracket and mount it against the boat and seal it, this becomes a flotation chamber. And it basically changes the attitude of the boat as it sits in the water and makes it better.
Kind of offsets the weight of the engine.
Offsets the weight of the engine, correct.
Okay. What would you recommend for our Seabird?
I would go with the wide body single back here. The flotation chamber on this one is twice as wide as on the standard single that we just looked at. So you get twice as much flotation.
Okay, now does your company actually custom make engine brackets for different transoms? You know how some transoms are curved or they're stepped?
We always work with the customer to match his transom exactly. And once we get the information from him, we make it to match. We match the transom angle and the shape.
What if we need a little bit more flotation than what this offers?
Well, if we don't have the opportunity of going wider, we can also go deeper. This is one of our customers' brackets, in which case he couldn't go any wider, so we worked with him to follow the lines of his hull, the dead rise, and in this instance we came a lot deeper here. And this adds to his flotation as well.
So it gives him quite a bit more buoyancy.
Quite a bit more buoyancy.
Well, you know, I was so impressed with these engine brackets. Recently, I conducted a test on 2 different types of boats. The first one was a 25-foot Pursuit, and that had a pair of Johnson 225s on it. The second one was a 21-foot Fitz. It had a single outboard on it. And basically what I wanted to do is I wanted to see what the boat would do prior to having an engine bracket installed. And I wanted to look at the speed, I also wanted to look at fuel consumption, and I wanted to see the attitude that the boat had when it was sitting at rest. And with the Pursuit, first off, what we did is we looked at about 4 different key speeds. We looked at an 1100 RPM trolling speed, we looked at a 3500 RPM speed, 4500 RPM, and we also looked at wide open throttle. And I was looking for not only what the boat would do speed-wise, but I was also looking for how much fuel the boat would consume. I have what's called a portable flow scan meter, which is an instrument that gives me the ability to monitor fuel consumption, and I recorded all of that data, first on the 25-foot Pursuit, second on that 21-foot Fitz. And I also wanted to see how high the transom was sitting out of the water with those original engines in the original position. And basically I just measured from the water line up to the rub rail, and I recorded that figure down. And then a couple of weeks went by and an engine bracket got installed on both of those boats, and we put the exact same engines back away from the transom, and we looked for the exact same conditions out on the water. We wanted to make sure that the wind speed was the same, we wanted to make sure that the sea conditions were the same, and that the exact same amount of fuel was in each boat. And we again looked at speed. And what I was so impressed by is with the addition of an engine bracket, we gained speed in almost every category, and the fuel savings was dramatic. It was almost 20%, and that's something that I'm very, very interested in achieving on our Seabird project boat, Janie. But talk to me about the price of what one of these engine brackets would run a consumer.
Well, it's interesting that you just talked about the fuel savings, because your fuel savings can actually help to offset the price significantly. An engine bracket will run from roughly $1,000 for a small one up to $2,000 to $3,000, depending how big you choose to make it.
I know that we did some math, and just in average usage, you could pretty much pay for an engine bracket in a season or a season and a half. And I just thought that was
That's
outstanding.
correct.
Can a do-it-yourselfer put an engine bracket on his boat?
Oh, absolutely. But if he decides it's too complicated, there are quite a number of shops all over the country that specialize in this type of conversion.
Janie, thank you so much for the information.
Thank you.
I'm going to start grinding some fiberglass.